Greetings. Thank you for tuning in to Elevate with Lady Media Cole. Today I have the privilege of interviewing an extraordinary man of God. Not someone who just has not been through a journey, but someone who is an expert in his field, someone who is not just a doctor, a publisher, author, a pastor, but a friend, a father, someone who has gone through a journey that I believe will inspire you to move from where you are and to desire more in the midst of your journey. Some of you may be in a place where you may feel like giving up. You may feel like throwing in the towel. You may actually feel like you're stuck where you are. But today, I want to welcome Dr. Undrai Fizer to speak with you, to speak with us, with where you are, and to help you elevate. Dr. Fizer, thank you so much for being here with us on today.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for accepting my invitation. And thank you for being who you are.
I appreciate it. That's the only person I know how to be.
But a lot of people try to be somebody else.
Yeah.
They try to emulate other people.
Yeah. I used to be that way. I used to be that way because I didn't feel at one time in my life, I didn't feel that I mattered. I didn't feel that my life was worthy enough to call someone to stop and give me some attention.
I can identify.
You know, when I don't want to disturb you, so I would say, hey, I'm not going to hold you. I just got something quick I want to say. I felt like my life wasn't important enough for people to say it mattered enough for them to stop. And sometimes when you feel you don't matter enough for people to stop and think about you, and when you don't think you're important enough, you will pretend to be someone else that they would stop for.
Right.
So you spend a lot of time watching and evaluating who people stop for. And you say, well, I guess I got to become someone you can stop for and pay attention to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doctor, what is it that gave you the confidence to be who you are? There was a process to get there.
I got tired. You know, when you get, especially in religion, you know, being an evangelist or pastor per se, you have to play the game. And the acceptance game. There's an acceptance game. Who preaches good? It doesn't matter who's anointed. It seems like whoever is the preference, it seems like that has a precipice over the anointing. If I don't like you, then your anointing doesn't matter. And when you're in that game a lot, and you get tired, you know, you have to get tired and you have to say, you know what, I'm tired of seeking acceptance. I'm tired of buying everybody's lunch. I'm tired of putting this money in the bucket, thinking if I put my whole check in the bucket, that folks are going to recognize that Brother Fizer gave his whole check in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? I got tired. When you get broke enough, when you're not just broke in your spirit, but broke in the bank. When you broke in all those places and you get tired and you make up your own mind, because everybody, let me say something, friend, everybody thinks that way. Everybody says, today I'm going to stop. You ever done that? I'm stopping today.
Yeah, I'm not going to put up with this anymore.
Oh, yeah, when people tick you off to enough,
yeah,
you will tell yourself, I need to do something else.
Yes.
Until you get a phone call. We're going to be over here. You know. All right, I'm coming. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I got tired of the phone calls. And I said, I'm going to step out. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something about this. And I did. Yeah.
Wow.
I got tired. And I saw what God said about me. Now, you can be in situations, medium, and know what God said about you, but don't have an emotional revelation of that. You could have an intellectual or theological revelation, but you don't have an emotional revelation, which means whatever God is saying about me isn't making me happy enough to want it.
Say that again.
Well, if I can remember, I'm blowing at it. You know, it's just good saying like that.
Whatever God is saying about me.
I'm messing with you. Yeah. Sometimes you can know what God is saying about you, but until that saying makes you happy enough to remember it.
Wow.
Sometimes we know what God says so we can repeat it, so people can call you the speaker. That's the good preacher, prophesy. But the word is not making you happy enough to forget what you're not. And until the truth, not just paper with verses on it, but the revelation, this is called elevate, until the revelation of the truth makes you happy enough to forget what you're not, you're going to always be obligated and to live in toleration and managing curses and managing Satan and managing when is the devil coming back. You're going to always be talking like, is the devil coming back tomorrow? You're going to always talk like that. When is he coming? You understand? I got to get my word. But you're not happy. And so one day I got happy about it. He says I'm his image, which means God can only create what he is. God can't create anything he's not. Whatever God is, he makes what he is. He doesn't make what he's not. And I got happy because I found out that I'm the confirmation of the wisdom of God. We are the confirming power of the wisdom of God. That his wisdom is not known because the Bible says something. His wisdom is known because of what we are about, because we are his workmanship.
So how do we come to know that? Because there are people that are watching, people are wondering. You know, you had to get to where you are right now, especially that mind frame, because a lot of people don't have that mind frame. They don't think like that. And I think that we were speaking and we talked about how people are taught a certain thing. We're born into this world, we're taught a certain thing, but we don't really know who we are. So we begin to come into who we are. And so I think that is why a lot of people are stuck where they are, because they don't know who they are.
Well, we are stuck at the point of what we are requiring acceptance from. See, when you want acceptance from family, people at church, friends, associations, see, you're only stuck to the level you seek approval from. And when you get to the point where you say, I don't need approval from this row of people, you become unstuck. So the warfare that you face is not from the devil. It's the pain of letting go of what got you stuck. So first of all, the word made me happy because I saw that I had value.
Yes.
So value was brought to me. And then discipline was brought to me. And then I recognized that God makes what he is. So I knew I'm the image of God. I'm not just a Christian. Because God doesn't create Christians, he creates sons. He creates what he is. I found out that I was the image of God and I wasn't a byproduct of a religion that Jesus was president over. I found out I'm the image of God. I found out I'm born this way. And even though we are taught, sometimes we're taught not according to what we are born as. What we are born as is different than what we're taught as. And I got confidence in what I was born to be. And it made me happy. It made me prioritize everything around how I was born.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, I found out that the people that I sought approval from my parents eventually passed away. Approval from my mother, my brothers, sisters, church members. I outgrew my need to be liked by them.
I like that.
I outgrew my need to be liked by them.
That's
and when
important.
I began to move in my personal freedom, not personal church freedom, because see, people who are watching have to realize this is not just church freedom, this is life freedom.
Life freedom.
This is freedom for life, not freedom for church.
We're not talking about church. We're talking about life.
What you do from 10 to 3. We got Sunday school at 10 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, we got our morning service at 8 o'clock. Ella Taylor gonna come in at 11 o'clock with the, Institute speaking. No, I got free from that. And when I began to live a free life, not just free from sin, but free from fear.
Right.
The fear of being noticed and calculated, which means you're going to notice me and you're going to have to calculate if you need to come and talk to me.
What you say?
And I got afraid. Before, I used to be afraid that you had to come talk to me. And I had to assure you that I wasn't going to hold you from you a long time.
Wow.
You won't waste your happiness coming to talk to me. Just give me a second. No, I'll hold you an hour now. I feel I'm worth you coming here. It gave me a boldness in myself. And that's the thing that people fear because they call it arrogance. And what it is surety. When you become sure of who you are, people will let go of what you're not.
I like that.
When you discover who you are and walk in who you are, people will no longer call you what you are not. And it will cause them to be bitter because they can't control that person anymore. It's an illusion. You've disappeared. You've disappeared. They can't control you anymore. And you don't have to apologize for no longer being controlled by a look.
Yes.
That look when you're free in yourself, that look that makes you say, I'm sorry to live. I got tired of that. And when you begin to discover who you are, you begin to see you and Jesus are walking exactly the same path.
You say that look that says, I'm sorry to live. Talk about that.
No,
I mean,
man, people can look at you and cause you to feel a penalty for being free.
Yeah,
But see, when you're still in prison, you can still feel the penalty.
that's good.
See, if you still got that mental prison in your mind, see, you can look free, act free. Like, I'm free, honey, I'm free. But free people never have to say it. Free people live.
Just are.
See, slaves talk, free people walk. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Man.
slaves talk, freedom walks. When I was a slave, I talked a lot. But when you're free, you just live it.
Yeah.
And you intimidate whatever needs to be intimidated. Because if you're intimidated, it's a nature that hasn't been able to understand who you are. So we have to get over the war of being who we are. We feel we're going to be alone if we're free. I ain't going to never marry if I'm free. I ain't going to never, you know what I'm saying? If I'm free. No, if you got to be a slave to have a companion, you don't need a companion.
Show though.
You understand? I allowed it to prioritize myself. So I got over that warfare. And I'm going to tell you something, buddy. I don't know how long it took. Because when you love things, you never count the time. You notice whenever you are caught in something you love, you never keep up with time. If you're at the party or at your friends' at cousin Louisiana, be in Louisiana, Mayor Undrai Fizer, come over to the house, babe. I'm coming, Shay. I'm coming. I'm going to come, baby. I'm going to come. And when you're having fun,
Yes.
you forget the hour.
That is very true.
You only count the time when you don't want to be there.
Wow.
4 more hours to be here at the job. When you enjoying where you are, there is no time.
I love
Some
that.
people will say, how long it took you? I say, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be whatever. I was so happy in the reality of it. I never counted how long it took because I didn't know there was a goal to reach. I loved giving my life over as a guinea pig to the truth. See, when you're really in love with your father, you give your life over as a testing instrument. Like, go ahead and use me. Whatever. Just, you understand?
Yes.
Because I was enjoying what I was discovering about myself. And then it awakened my gift. It awakened my music ability. I don't read music, and it awakened it.
What?
And I'm on Pandora now, and I'm on all these places, and I play in spontaneous jazz. I call it prophetic jazz.
I love it.
I call it prophetic jazz.
I love it.
And then I started writing about it and everything. I wasn't trying to be an author. I was just talking about my life, and I became an author.
Wow.
Then I became a publisher, and I began to publish people who had the similar interests and things like that.
Like-minded people.
Like-minded, like-loved, like-minded and like-love. And I started to elevate. I started to elevate and didn't know I was elevating.
Yeah, that's good
I
too.
didn't know I was rising up. I thought I was standing up. I didn't know I was. And it's still that way.
Yeah.
It's still that way.
An incline.
Oh, yeah. Okay, be careful. Oh, okay, be careful. Not talking about an incline. Right, okay.
Yes, because that is what we want to encourage people to see. Because one thing that's very important to me, and even in listening to you, when I had the opportunity to hear you preach, and the heart connection that I felt when you preached about worship was amazing to me. And when you talked about who we are
Oh, yeah.
and created in God's image, and when you worship is not what people do in church, but worship is who you are.
Yeah.
You know, you are created. You are not just a worshiper, but worship is who you are.
Adoration.
And I love what you talked about time, and you forget.
Yeah.
Because you are worship, you don't think about the time because you're enjoying who you are. And I went home and I pondered and I thought about the things that you said that day. And I think even from that day, my life has just been on that incline. And then every opportunity that I get to speak with you, the words that you speak, which is for me very important because they're not just words that deal with the flesh part of man or the carnal part of man, but when you speak and you deal with a man's heart, you deal with the man's spirit. You know what I'm saying? And it causes a leap in life. You know, it causes an open up of a revelation. I've never had the opportunity to speak with someone in that capacity that really touched me like that, because a lot of times when people talk to you, they talk at you, they talk around you, they talk around situations. You know, I'm trying to get to the truth of the matter, so I need you to be real. You know, I need you to be open with me. And I think that there are a lot of people who deal in situations where they just need somebody to be real. They just need somebody to talk to them. They need somebody to say, look, been there, did that, and this is how God did it for me, or this is how God brought me through. A lot of my understanding for who I am today, and even in the point of elevating, even in the point of growing, even in the point of not staying where I was, because before you see me sitting here, I was at home in my bed depressed, but people would know that if I didn't tell them, because when I came out, I was laughing, I was smiling. I put on the mask and the face that people thought she's good. All is well with her. But you don't always know what's going on in a person's heart. Even when I was at the point of that, not just looking at the faces of people wanting to not live, but looking at the faces of people and wanting to actually kill myself, not even wanting to be here. So been there, did that, went through that, but somebody is looking on today, and perhaps you're there, perhaps you're looking and you just click through to just try to find something to inspire or encourage you. You don't have to give up where you are. There is more elevation to come. Stay where you are. We're going to bless you. Dr. Undrai Fizer, man, we're just elevating like crazy. I don't know how many floors in this building, but I tell you, it's unlimited. Let me tell you that. So, Doctor, it's important to me for the people to know where you are, what you're doing. The Kairos Institute of Personal Discovery.
Oh, wow, I like how you said that.
Yeah, and I like how I read it.
Yeah, you said that with some importance.
Absolutely, absolutely. Institute of Personal Discovery. Just tell the people just a little bit about.
The Kairos Center is a spirituality center on the northwest side of Houston, located at 14347 Torrey Chase Boulevard, Suite B, here in Houston. Well, in Houston, I'm somewhere else. And, but basically, it's a spirituality center created to help people discover their unique purpose, discipline, spirituality, and destiny.
Love it.
So we're open every day.
Every day
we're open. Oh, yeah. It's not service at Wednesday or service on. Every day we're open for discussion. In the mornings we're open for discussion, readings, spiritual readings, personal development. On Wednesday evenings at 7:30, we have a group fellowship that we teach and impart wisdom. We also periscope it. That's the new craze.
Yes, yes, and I see it. I get to catch it every now and then.
I always love it. And so we periscope our classes, and so that's what we do.
Okay. And you have the Undrai Fizer project.
Undrai Fizer project, yeah, that's our prophetic jazz trio where we play spontaneous music. As a matter of fact, we play at Massette's, which is not far from here. Massette's.
Okay.
We play at the Tasting Room. We play at Sugar's in Beaumont, Texas. We play at different house parties or corporate events. So it's a prophetic jazz trio. We get together, we feel the vibe, and we create according to the vibe. And we've been together about 5 years.
Really?
So it's really cool.
I was listening to you, I think it was Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
And we were sitting in the living room working, and I was listening to you, and you just going in. And I just heard myself playing the saxophone. I was like, then we go out to break up that trio and put a little saxophone in there. I was singing and everything. I was like, oh my God, I'm loving this. And I was feeling, that was amazing to me. So we want to make sure that the people have your information so they can go out and get that project. But then you're also an author, and you just released 2 books.
Yes,
and I'll let you introduce those then.
Okay, this is our newest book here, The Excuseless Life here. 34 Inner Laws for Living Above Distractions. This was also an Amazon bestseller.
Absolutely.
In philosophy and spiritual growth. I'm proud of this.
And you should be.
I'm really proud of that, and I wasn't trying to do it. I really, and the way I wrote it was incredible. I just wrote from my heart. I didn't try to see what was this or that. Just wrote. But it talks about living above distraction and above fear. And it shows you how to live your divine life. And also it gives you practical laws at how to apply the truths that we're talking about in everyday life. So that's incredible.
And then 365?
And 365 is books that I wrote. Came out in 2013. It's wisdom keys for life. Most people don't read books all the way through, but they'll read a nugget or two. And so it's sayings that will show you how to think, your personal discovery, and what God is calling you to be and do in your thoughts. So this is a cool book, and it has a journal inside of it as well.
Okay.
So
very nice. Yes.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that the people have the information so that they can go out, look you up, stop by the Kairos Center.
Oh, yeah, stop by.
And be blessed, absolutely blessed.
Get the book at any Barnes & Noble or Amazon, anywhere books are sold.
And you have a website as well.
Yes, my website is www.undraifizer.com. Well, let me give you this because my name is kind of different.
Yes, it is.
Okay, be careful. Watch out now. www.kairosinstitute.org. www.kairosinstitute.org.
Okay, we'll make sure that we make that information available for you. Thank you so much for being here with us on tonight. We can't leave this place without letting the people know that you are a happily married man.
Oh, yeah.
To Dr. Bridget Fizer.
Dr. Bridget, been married 23 years.
Yes.
Be 24 years, March 7th.
And we have
3 beautiful children, Benjamin, Lauren, and Zion.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Benjamin is my oldest. He'll be going to the Air Force. Zion is an all-state jazz drummer for Klein Forest High School. And Lauren has an art exhibit on the 18th.
Really?
He's a renowned, look at me, renowned. He's a state artist and everything. His picture is in the governor's mansion as well.
Really nice. Well, we're in the place too. We can put it in here too.
Put it on here.
Awesome. Yeah. Listen, you're in a place that you want to rise. You want to reach for more. You desire more. You want more. Let's elevate. It's time to elevate with Lady Media Co. Come back to see us.